From Studio 3 at Buzz TV, it's The Horse's Mouth with Tom McManus.
Welcome to Sunny Side Up. I'm your host, Chris Budas, and today we're going to talk about a subject that's pretty, controversial to some extent. So the St. Johns River, is it a lifeline or is it an underutilized asset here in the city of Jacksonville? On the esteemed panel I have here today, Patrick Morse, Major Harding, April Ethridge, and Amanda Holt. Folks, how are you guys doing?
Great.
Yeah, we got some long-time residents, some mid-time residents, and some new residents. But I think everybody's familiar with St. Johns River. And if you're not, you're familiarized with the bridge and the traffic associated with that river. So
7 bridges.
7 bridges.
Wow.
So you're probably a man of experience, and you've been around for a little while. So we'll start with you, Major. St. Johns River, a lifeline or underutilized asset?
Both.
Okay.
So I told you a story off air about, seeing raw sewage flowing in the river, 50 years ago.
Okay, all right, 50 years ago.
So
all the kids out there are going to be scared right now.
Well, and we were swimming in the river at that time. So we really didn't have that knowledge. But, when they consolidated the city, and they said, hey, we've got to do something about this, the sewage going in the river. Yeah. Because, it's a crown jewel. Right. It goes straight through, the heart of Jacksonville. Yeah. So I think they were smart at the time to clean it up. And now we have state-of-the-art wastewater treatment facilities, and it's becoming more of a jewel.
Okay, excellent. So
I've seen the extremes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're the longest term resident, I believe.
I probably am.
All right, and Amanda, you're the newest resident. So what do you think?
I think there's so much potential.
Yeah.
I really do. Coming from a larger city.
So underutilized assets, what I'm hearing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Coming from a larger city, seeing it grow.
Wait, what's the name of that city?
Charlotte, North Carolina. Yeah. And just that visualization of having these breweries and these niche, not these commercial.
And more folksy type shops and things like that.
Sure, but just like restaurants that are local, helping the small business owner, helping small business owners and giving them that ability to start their dreams, support local, increase the traffic, not just the boat traffic. I think there's so much potential. It could be beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just driving by, you see some dolphins on occasion in the water, but I really do think there's a lot of potential there.
Okay, excellent. Patrick.
So I'm with Major. I think it's a crown jewel, but it's also got a lot of potential, and I'll talk about it more from a conservation aspect.
Yeah, please.
So I'm here today with the National Wild Turkey Federation, but one of my other volunteer projects is with the Coastal Conservation Association. Oh, wow. So we do a lot of conservation work with the Jacksonville or the St. Johns River, as well as the tributaries into the intercoastal and all of our inshore waterways. And, it is the lifeblood of this area. It's what gives us our personality. Everybody either fishes or boats or has some sort of interest in that. If you live down here, sure, the riverfront could be, more utilized downtown. Yeah. But I think there's a lot of conservation work that we can still do to make it better for fishing, for, freshwater habitat. Yeah. And, we do some work with cleanups, and the amount of trash that we pick up on these islands, Sahara Islands around here, is insane. Yeah. And so, I think there's a lot that we could do to make it prettier and to make the waters healthier.
That's awesome. No, that's some great points there. So, somebody's going on for city council on this panel, and I think it's April. So, April, what's your thoughts? You're originally from Arlington area. So.
I am originally from Arlington, and as I like to listen to all of my, hopefully, voters, I agree with all of you. I think that it's underutilized, and I think maybe taken for granted as well.
Yeah,
and
I think
so I think that there is an opportunity to do a balance of conservation, right? We have the St. Johns River Keeper. We have other organizations trying to get it and keep it clean. I think that small businesses can take better advantage of it, not only with riverside boutique shops and restaurants, but what about being on the river, getting out there? Yeah. Paddle boats and tours and those sorts of things. How much of that are we doing? Yeah. How much revenue can it generate while still protecting it?
I got a good friend that says this periodically. He's in Austin. What's the difference between Austin, Nashville, and St. John's? Or what's the similarity? Not a difference, but similarity. tax-free state on a river, except the difference is we're, in my opinion, we're a little bit underutilized. I know we're going through this strange period. I mean, I remember growing up here. I remember the landing was created, and where the Museum of Science and History down there was, the Metropolitan Park. It was used to have a lot more nightlife, and it's kind of died. But I think through proper zoning, investment, and things like that, we don't want to become a big city, but we do want to definitely have places where people want to go shop, eat, and do things. Be vibrant, right? Yeah. You see these little centers of excellence throughout the town. So like Avondale, Riverside, San Marco, if we can kind of expand it upon the river, it'd be great. I rented a boat a couple of weeks ago and went up all the way down by JU. And it's funny, I did see dolphins actually doing flips. They weren't in Marineland or down there in SeaWorld. And I was like, wow. But I agree. I live down there in the Fruitco area. There's more boat traffic on that river than I'd ever seen in my whole life, especially growing up here in the 70s and 80s. It really has changed quite a bit. So people are utilizing this great asset. But for downtown, I would say that, we could probably do maybe some modifications, the right modifications. So
Smart modifications.
Smart. There you go. Smart modifications. I think when you couple that with Emerald Trail and some of the other things that are being looked at, I think it's going to be a great place to live. Hopefully we're going to brace for impact with this next 500,000 people moving in Northeast Florida through smart, voting and development. So thank you, panel members, for being here on Sunny Side Up. Great subject. I look forward to the next week and see what controversial things we can talk about. All right. So I appreciate what you're doing and, live with gratitude. So, hey, we'll see you in our next segment, folks.
My name is Todd Marshall, and I own All Dry Services of Southeast Jacksonville. We serve all of Northeast Florida. Every day our business is doing the more mundane, but yet sometimes catastrophic issues. These can be plumbing leaks, they can be sewage backups. A bathtub overflows, somebody leaves the sink running. So we have a 24/7 response. If you call us, you're going to get a live person, and you try to get out there as quick as possible so that we can minimize the damage.